These new Epiphone Firebird guitars. These guitars are phenomenal, right? So at the beginning, that was a good, not a bad one. But I had to sell it a little bit because otherwise if you just say, hey, these guitars are great, and then you listen to like, a minute worth of tone and then go to a different video, and then YouTube's algorithm is like, this didn't give enough audience retention, this is a bad video, we're not going to show it to anyone. And that doesn't work for any of us involved. So we're going to talk about these brand new guitars. These are the Epiphone 63 Firebird 1 and Firebird 5. This seems like Epiphone is really diving head-on into a new era of guitar production, specifically on the Gibson end. So I'm going to tell you all my likes and dislikes and everything about them. I do want to just mention that they're just utterly phenomenal. Really, really impressed off the bat. And I do want to say a great big thank you to Zzounds. Zzounds provided me these guitars on loan so that I could bring you all this video. This is really exciting for me to be working with them, and I'm going to be doing a bunch of videos with them with gear on loan so I can actually get more videos to you people of stuff that you're interested in that I otherwise wouldn't have access to. So big thank you to Zzounds, and to show support, if you're interested in this guitar or any other gear, if you shop through the links below, those are affiliate links. That helps both me and them and helps this whole situation of me getting gear from them, doing reviews. We'll direct you there. I get a little commission off the sale. Just works across the board. You get cool new gear and it costs nothing extra to you. All right, that should be out of the way. Now I'm going to kind of go over both of them and then talk a little bit about the difference in models. These have C-shaped necks, which are very, very comfortable. They have some nice meat to them, but they're not overpowering. You don't need to have big linebacker hands in order to handle them. They have actually Gibson USA Alnico 5 pickups. They also have banjo tuners. These have everything that I look for in a classic Firebird that Gibson hasn't done in eons. In fact, Gibson I don't think makes a regular run Firebird right now. It's just the custom shop stuff. And when Gibson has made Firebird models, they've generally been good, but there have been some hit or miss things. They haven't done a regular production model with banjo tuners for decades, I think. It's been at least quite a while. And also the Firebirds that they had been putting out, which were, fine guitars mostly across the board, but they had ceramic pickups, which I always thought were a little too edgy and lacked warmth for a pickup that really doesn't need extra edge and bite, right? Mini humbuckers are pretty bright. They stay somewhere between the realm and I should say Firebird pickups. Yes, they're mini humbuckers, but they're different than the regular mini humbuckers, and I've dealt with that in YouTube comments before. They're Firebird pickups. Gibson USA Firebird mini humbuckers. But they're brighter and edgier. They're kind of halfway between like a PAF and a single coil. There's something in that realm. The neck pickup can get very much like a Stratocaster or a Telecaster neck pickup on the 5. The bridge pickup has way more twang than a PAF, but it has way more warmth than a single coil. So it's a great guitar that sits right in the middle. So it's really awesome to see them putting high-end pickups. They also have CTS pots, and the literature says that they're hand-wired. So I actually popped the back off of the Firebird 5 so that you could see. So here's a quick shot of that. You can actually see what the wiring looks like. It's not one of those circuit boards and things, which I hate. All right, now I don't say this lightly. If someone were to hand me this guitar and I didn't see what it said on the headstock, I could very well think it's a Gibson. It really is that good. Both of them are. The one spot where I kind of noticed a difference from the Gibson is they have Indian Laurel fingerboards as opposed to Rosewood, which feels a little drier to me. Mostly a looks thing. It's hard for me to gauge this with a loaner guitar because they have kind of dry stock strings on them that came from Epiphone, and I don't really like those strings, so in that sense, I wasn't really crazy about it. But when you're playing dry strings on an unconditioned fingerboard, it's hard to tell which is kind of worse. I don't think that's in any way a deal breaker. I would certainly prefer a rosewood fingerboard, but I think with this fingerboard, if you were to condition it every single time you change strings, you know, kind of keep it going, and then also just sink into it and play it a lot, and some of the sweat from your hand gets into it, I think it would probably sink in pretty well after a while. But that was really the one downside. I even noticed one of the things that I liked on the 5 is it actually has an ABR1 style bridge, as opposed to the kind of fat post bridges that you see on their regular production run. Now, 1 versus 5, which should you go with? The benefit of the 1 is you just plug it in and you rock out. Now, for those of you who don't have a 1 pickup guitar, I don't know if you've seen my channel, I'm actually a big fan of the Les Paul Jr., and I've really grown to like single pickup guitars. It wouldn't necessarily be my first guitar to have in an arsenal because I do like neck pickups a lot, but that being said, they're way more versatile than you might expect. And after I talk about everything here, I'm actually going to do a run through of both the guitars, and on the single pickup guitar on the Firebird 1, I'm going to play around with the volume and the tone a little bit extra to show you how you can get some really cool different sounds with it. On the Firebird 5, I'm going to play each pickup setting both clean and overdriven. I think the 1 is really cool. It's a great guitar to have in the arsenal, and as an avid Eric Clapton fan, the idea of a Firebird 1 just evokes so much rock history, and it just sounds phenomenal. The cool thing about the 5 is, again, you have a Gibson that kind of gives you like that sought-after Fender neck tone almost, you know, in its own unique Firebird way. It does also have the Vibrola, the Maestro Vibrola. Now, that's really cool for looks. I'm not crazy about it functionality. I'm going to show you a little bit, just some kind of light tremolo work when I play with that, but I laid off it for the most part because they are notorious for having tuning issues. They're not the best functional one, again, even though they look nice. In that sense, you know, if you just don't use it. It's not really a deal breaker. It doesn't affect the tuning if you don't use it. So in that sense, it looks cool, and it is period correct. The old Firebird 5s would have had that tremolo system on it, the vibrato system on it. Now, I think the one big reservation people are going to have about these are price. And this is a tricky subject to tackle, and I'll tell you why. It's because it's really a much more overarching theme with modern guitar building. These are expensive. The Firebird 1 is $1,300, the Firebird 5 is $1,700. That's a lot of money, and, you know, especially considering I remember a time not that long ago when you could get a Gibson Firebird 5 for about that same money. The world changes, you know, COVID certainly changed an awful lot when it comes to guitar manufacturing, and prices have certainly increased across the board. There are a number of factors for that, including inflation. There is something to be said for big companies kind of doing cash grabs. Here's the thing that stands out to me about this one is it is a high quality guitar, and price-wise, it's not unique among other things that are happening, right? Like the Fender Vintera series, which used to be like the classic player series, those are over $1,000 now too. So it's certainly not just Epiphone doing it, and Epiphone also has some very reasonably priced models. Now, this is in collaboration with the Gibson Custom Shop that it says, and again, you know, I kind of see that in the quality. It really plays and feels like a much, much higher end guitar. it's a lot of money for an Epiphone, and I kind of understand that. So that being said, I don't have an answer for anyone on whether or not it's worth it. That's going to be kind of up to all of you individually. I will say, again, comparably to other big companies and quality-wise, in the context of the modern guitar market, price doesn't surprise me, but it is still a lot of money. All that being said, again, great guitars. I'm really enjoying playing them. So let's dive into a run through. Again, if you want to support me and support Zzounds and support doing these videos, if you're interested in this or anything else, shop through that link below from Zzounds. Pick up some cool gear at no additional cost to you. If you want to support my channel in any other ways, first of all, you can stream my brand new album, Blues. You can buy it here at this link. You can also stream it on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere else where you listen to your music. If you want to send me a tip of $7 or more, I'm going to give you access to a website where you can get all of my music, including jam tracks. And hey, this is a new thing. If you upload a video of yourself playing to one of my jam tracks, I'm actually going to share it on my website. I have a cool new tab on my website, which is Friends and Fan Jams. And I'm going to post your video of you jamming there. And I'll also post it on Facebook. So if you send me a tip, get some of these jam tracks and things, upload a video, tag me in it so I know that you've done it, and put what the name of the song is and whose song it is, and I'll happily share that across other things. There's also 2 free jam tracks you can get on my webpage. So let's get to some tone now. First, we're going to start with a Firebird 1, and again, I'm going to play with the volume and tone a little bit so you can hear how dynamic a single pickup guitar can be, and then we're going to do a full run through of the Firebird 5. I'm Jack Fossett. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Let us know what your thoughts are down in the comments, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.